Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. In the last part, we started our raid on the Shinra base and got up here to the 67th floor, and hey, look at Hojo just kind of wobble around.
It's been speaking about this specimen, what he's going to do with Aerith, or you called her Aerith in this one.
Yeah.
It's always going to confuse me, the whole TH and S thing.
Japanese to English is just one of those rough languages to translate. Also, you saw that little fade transition there. That's because I actually started and ended a recording there because I wasn't sure how long this entire sequence is going to take.
I don't know much about, like, the Shinra building, like, the extra things in the Shinra building, because I was never very adventurous when I first started, going about this whole thing.
Yep. And I actually ran around there for a bit so I can encounter this enemy, the Moth Slasher. 260 HP, 46 XP, 5 AP, 75 gil. Doesn't drop anything, but the reason I want to fight it is that we can steal a carbon bangle from it, which is the next best equipment piece we can find in the game. I steal, I think, 5 here? 1 for every party member I have basically at this point, plus 1 or 2 extra just to be safe. If you want to just go through the fight really quickly, though, it's weak to lightning because it's a machine.
It's how it is with many machines, but it's not the only thing that's got a weakness here, which is nice. I actually like that elemental weaknesses are becoming a bit more, I guess, cryptic?
Yeah, it might be the right word for it.
Because, I mean, some of the things in this game, it would not be obvious what it's weak to.
Yeah. The carbon bangle, though, just raises our defense and magic defense a little bit, even though I forget. Is it magic defense that's bugging this game or magic evade? I forget. I think it might be magic defense. But the main reason I got it is just because, hey, more armor slots. But now I want to keep running around here because there's another enemy I can encounter.
Yeah, and this is the Soldier 3rd class. 250 HP, 40 MP, 54 XP, 6 AP, and 116 gil, weak to fire. And notable that this enemy can have a hard edge that you can steal. And the hard edge is, I don't think it's Cloud's second best weapon, but it's his second. It's not his next piece in line, but it's like the one after that, I think. I don't recall.
If I forget,
but
honestly.
If what I'm remembering is correct, it has double materia growth, and that's the main reason why you want to get it. I might be remembering the Force Stealer, but that could be wrong.
Yeah, you're confusing it with the Force Stealer. The hard edge just has, I think, a set of link slots and 2 standalone slots.
Okay.
You're not supposed to get it for a while, admittedly, and you are right. It's not technically Cloud's second weapon in line. There's the Mithril Saber you are going to be able to get later, but I just want to steal the hard edge now because, hey, it's more powerful.
It almost doubles his attack power.
Yeah, he is powerful.
Almost as strong as Aerith is.
Almost. I see you there, you little... Was that window glowing pink? Oh, that's a bit weird.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the game.
How that guy didn't see us hide, I don't know. Mind you, for all we know, he might be, not paid enough for his shit, so he's like, f it.
Or he's just he had his eyes closed, and they're like, quick! His eyes are closed! And how does Hojo not see them either?
Yeah, he's walking towards us.
Like, had he turned to look at what's in that little thing that you're standing next to, definitely would have seen you.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that dog,
precious specimen.
Cat thing.
It's my favorite part of this game. I love that thing. I call it more of a dog than a cat. Although
Genova. Interesting.
Whoa,
careful there. I might have to censor that.
It has an eye on its nipple. Oh boy.
It also doesn't have a head.
Where is its head? It's one of my favorite lines in the game.
We meet at last.
Oh.
Mother.
What the hell was that?
Wow.
And there's that name again, Sephiroth. The hell?
still alive?
I mean, the bodies kind of twitch after they've been even beheaded, Cloud. That's kind of how things work. I love how easily he shoves off. Hey, don't got a head. Oh well.
This whole thing's stupid. I agree.
And you have a save pointer I recommend you use, and they also give you a poison materia. Obviously, that allows you to use like the bio set of magic attacks, which are pretty useful, especially against human-type enemies. In fact, I think I generally like to equip that throughout most of the game from here on. And this is what my setup's looking like. I actually did a little bit of off-screen resetting just so I could get this setup going up. The big thing you want is fire on someone as well as cover, just to make sure that you still can get some movement breaks more easily.
I noticed that you had poison elemental on armor instead of a weapon, and I think I kind of know why. I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly, but
an enemy coming up in a short period of time is going to be able to use the poison
spell
status on us, so might as well have that protection
so
going.
That provides protection against poison, right? And it also halves poison damage?
Actually, I think it had at the start. I can never quite remember exactly how the elemental works on armor. I know at some point it halves, other times it absorbs, other times it reflects, I think. Obviously, editing me has already made the call out come up at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen. Left, right, I'm causing my more work for myself, huh? Yeah, the way Hojo's about to do his experiments, and, there's Aerith.
That is... The dog is excited. Its tail's wagging.
What are you doing? Oh my.
Okay.
Hojo. She's a human. That's definitely not a human. That's not how that works.
Not good.
Human and animal DNA like that are incompatible.
Children, this is why this game is rated T.
14. Ah, great. Barrett, you vaporized Aerith.
What? How does that even work?
Yeah, I don't get what that light is. Yeah, maul him.
Wow.
Either way, we at least got Aerith out of there.
Angry.
That's the elevator sound again.
Something's
And it's
coming.
moving.
It's a very...
That's not
Is he
good.
happy at the fact that he just got mauled and he's like, oh, what power?
I don't know. Hojo is an interesting and strange
Also,
character.
the talking dog. I love it.
Also, this plays into the date mechanics. Since I want to have Tifa at that date sequence later on, I need to tell Barrett to take care of her, because if you say, Tifa, I'm counting on you, she loses 2 points. Barrett gains 2. And this is Red 13. He's joining our party, obviously. I was actually tempted to rename him as well, just to Red, because I generally just refer to him as Red, and I probably will be throughout the game, but I just figured, what's the point? Either way, time for the next boss fight, as well as its 2 options. I'm actually going over both of these enemies because it's basically one and the same. The main boss is Sample H0512, 1000 HP, 300 XP, 30 AP, 250 gil. We'll drop the Talisman upon defeat, which is an accessory that I believe raises Spirit? Yeah, Spirit plus 10. And it doesn't really have any notable weaknesses, although it is resistant to lightning, so don't use that on it. Fire is going to be your best bet here. Also, Red 13 actually comes with a fire materia, which is why I only bought 2
and
earlier.
with all materia as well.
Yes. And then there are the little guys. Those are the Sample H0512 options. They have 300 HP, 20 XP, 2 AP. They can drop they will drop tranquilizers if you kill them. And they don't really have anything major to them other than the fact they're just more sources of damage. However, in this fight, you still want to just focus on the main boss fight itself, because he can revive the options if you kill them. So it's just not worth the effort trying to kill them.
I believe this is one of those fights where you kill the main thing and then the little guys will follow. As I recall, that's how it works. Now,
something I have in my notes, I'm not exactly sure if this is true. I recall him being weak to fire. But I think I'm actually wrong about that. I might just be thinking of the fact that during most playthroughs, I just have the Lightning Materia on at this point anyway, so I don't have any other choice but fire, so it feels like it's weaker. And, wow, he doesn't even get the proper death animation. That happens with certain boss fights sometimes, I think. I think it might just be a minor, like, scripting error or something. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, Red 13's theme.
Definitely one of my favorite themes in the game.
Absolutely. I love almost everything about Red.
I think I would call Red my favorite character in the game, and then Cloud would be my second favorite.
He's probably my second favorite overall. My first favorite's one of the last characters we meet. But, yeah, we rescued Aerith from that. Nice.
I was gonna say...
And apparently... Yeah, also, I'm surprised we haven't mentioned it. Yeah, the dog can talk. We can change our party around at this point, and we want to do this. In particular, anyone you put in your party here is going to get a +2 boost. So I don't want Aerith in my party, so my party, I think at this point, is Cloud, Red, and Tifa. Red doesn't have any relationship values, but he can serve as a good replacement if you want to make sure others don't get points.
Dang, that's too bad.
But we really want to grab this back here. This is the enemy skill materia. Oh, my love to have you once again.
So good.
Also, this is what M1's materia is looking like. The enemy skill materia, we're not going to be able to do much with it until next part. But what it essentially is, for those who have played prior Final Fantasies, it is blue magic. If an enemy that has a special ability of a certain kind uses it on you, you will learn it. You have to end the battle like through the standard means after you get the ability, though. Say an enemy uses one on us and we just run away, we don't get it. Oh, so yeah, talking to that guy gives us keycard 68. So that's cool.
I actually didn't know about that, that you had to end the fight properly in order to learn the skill.
Most times you're just going to do it anyway, just because.
Well,
why
also
not?
because for the most part, it's not too bad unless it's later in the game and you're trying to, like, get a good ability early on. I know that's the case with one enemy, but...
Yeah, there's only really one case where it's really annoying. We tried to get out of here, but, looks like the Turks found us. Ah, shit. You know, Cloud, you could just, like, slug him. Oh, there's two of them. Never mind.
You can't take on Song.
Yeah, that's rude. He's kind of quiet.
I love the Shinra theme, by the way.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, I think, or at least briefly. But I think Final Fantasy VII has honestly some of the best music in the series, and when it comes to villain themes especially, they nail it.
I mean...
Yeah, where's Aerith? Oh, we just got her back too, damn it.
That's like the classical damsel in distress. It's like the Peach archetype, actually. Kind of save her, and then 5 minutes later, she's gone somewhere else.
And Red seems to know what the Cetra are. I guess that means he's well informed.
Useful information.
And of course, now it's time for Big Bad Mr. President to alert us to our plan. And yes, me doing this voice for him is a slight reference to the Machina Bridge series by Team 4-Star.
I haven't watched the Machina Bridge version of this.
Oh, dude, it's so good. The entire thing is so good. Like I think I mentioned it. I think I've already mentioned it at least once in this playthrough. They just got to the end of Disc 1 at the end of Season 3. Which means I estimate it'll probably be 6 or 7 seasons long. Probably 7 just because of numbers. But yeah, of course, Big Bad Corporation is Big Bad Corporation, and they're just going to shove us away in a prison until we rot.
That's a lame way to kill someone, in the words of Titus.
I mean, hey, it's effective. Also, one of the few scenes in the game you can really notice the cigar on President Shinra's mouth. Because there it is right there.
It looked a little bit low. At first I thought that was like, oh, that tie is pretty far out. Nope.
Yeah. Alright, now, we're in prison here. We can talk to everyone. First off, we want to talk to Tifa here. And the interesting thing is, I think if you say leave it to me a bunch, you'll actually gain plus 1 point for every single time you do it, I think. Kind of hard is -1. And then whoever he thinks of first here is going to gain different amounts of points. If you think of Aerith or Barrett first, they'll gain 3 points. Whoever he thinks of second will gain 1. And whoever thinks of last gets nothing. So, of course, that means I want to think of Red first, Barrett second, Aerith last, just because she really still has a good amount of points to get through.
Don't laugh at the dog.
I mean, let's be real, man. If you suddenly saw a dog who can talk, and I think, if I'm recalling correctly, the game's graphics doesn't show this off very well. Isn't his tail constantly on fire? Like a Charizard's?
Let me look at the concept art.
I think I'm remembering that correctly. I might be thinking of something from the FMVs.
I think it is on fire in the FMV cuts. Yeah, his tail is most definitely on fire.
But it looks like Barrett's getting his hopes up a little bit. He's at least glad, like...
The puff of his tail, or like the tuft of hair on his tail is actually fire. So...
Yeah. Also, as for why Red 13 is named Red 13, he's colored red and he has a tattoo number 13 on him. It's another time that the numbered tattoos come out. Didn't we see one of those back at the Sector 5
that was
market
Sector
or whatever?
5. That was like tattoo number 2 or something.
Wonder what's the significance of that. And maybe the other dude was like the second sibling, so you got the number to signify that.
Sibling?
Yeah, like he's got 2 older brothers, and he's an older brother and younger brother, meaning he's number 2, so we got a number 2 tattoo.
That means that Red is his sibling.
Yeah, maybe.
Boy, that means something weird's happening.
Yeah, something weird's happening out of the way. But now we have Tifa asking Aerith about some stuff about the Ancients, namely the Promised Land, which is this fabled land of infinite energy, or more accurate, more fertile Mako and such, which obviously to Shinra means big money.
Money, money, money. Profit.
Okay, I know you meant profit the money, but for some reason I took it as them looking at Aerith as the prophet of money, like Prophet.
Profit. That one.
Yeah.
There's actually a show called The Prophet. It's pretty funny. It's a good show.
Either way, no choice but to really kind of fall asleep for right now. Had our nice little existential thinkings, I guess.
Crisis.
I love that they play the end theme here, by the way. That's a mood shift. Especially given what we're about to see. Yeah, the door's open. Cool.
I always thought that the end theme just meant you're recovering health now. Lucky you.
Yeah, it does, but it's ill-fitting to me. But yeah, that guard's dead, and this music is creepy.
I've always wondered what a scary inn theme would sound like. Like, let's say you sleep at an inn, and depending on what the music sounds like, something bad or neutral or good is happening.
Kind of like if you go use the inn at what was the Imperial capital in 6?
Vector. That's
Vector.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, like that guy has like a 1 in something chance of
stealing
taking your stuff.
Like 10,000 gil. It's outrageous amount that he steals from you.
If I recall, you can't leave that town once you enter it, can you?
No, you can. I think. And even if you can't, even if you can't, there is a place where you can heal, anyways, for free.
Yeah.
Anyways, next enemy is a brain pod. I was talking about a brain pan earlier, but that's not what this is. 240 HP, 46 MP, 52 XP, 95 gil, weak to holy, not that you'd have that yet. And oddly enough, immune to earth. I don't really know why the specific... Oh, it's floating! Yep, that makes sense. Notable, it drops Deadly Waste, which I think casts Bio 2, which is pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's really good. I think it can outright poison you, and if you use poison attacks on it, it will heal it. Which is something very notable, just in case you want to use it. Whoa, this is...
Ooh. This is also why this game is rated teen, children. Blood.
Yeah, that man's dead. And looks like the Genova specimen, something happened to it, and oh god, that's a blood trail. Alright, now imagine being... Let's say I was 4 or 5 when I first played this game, and hearing this music and seeing this stuff. Ah, childhood traumas. Hey, look, we're on floor 69. It's not scary, right?
Oh, Lord. Why?
Hey, President Shinra, we're here to kick your ass. Oh, someone already did it for us. Damn it.
Oh, he's got something sticking out of his back. Looks like a piece of dynamite on a staff.
President Shinra's dead. Damn it. I wanted to kill the guy. That's a sword, and
Sephiroth's sword.
Isn't he supposed to be dead?
Dead? Certainly not
That's what they
active.
implied.
It's a ghost.
Definitely. Palmer, how are you hiding behind that? Not so fast. Sephiroth is here, which that's worrisome.
But why was he here? That's the question.
Good question. He definitely doesn't want Shinra to have the Promised Land, which means we have 3 players in this game now. Us trying to keep Aerith safe, and Shinra and Shinra trying to get her to get to the Promised Land, and Sephiroth either protecting it or trying to get it himself.
Nobody really knows what's going on yet, except for Sephiroth.
Yeah.
That's as far as his motives go.
But now it's time for a new player to enter the field. Turns out President Shinra had a son, and he's here now. I guess if he was vice president, that makes him president now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Notable, Barrett says he's been off on assignment, but they actually expand on that in the Japan-only exclusive mobile game Before Crisis, and that he was actually sent away by his father for reasons relevant to the plot of that game.
Huh.
And time to introduce ourselves as a ragtag bunch of people. I really wish Regis went a dog. Yeah, we've got a little motley crew, don't we?
Quite.
Ah, great. Speech is great. Not gonna lie though, I actually really love Rufus in this scene just because look at how cocky he is, walking all slowly in front of our faces like, yo, hey, what's up? Listen to me talk.
I'm looking up some concept art of this guy, and it looks like he has a band over his face? Or over, like, a headband covering his eye? Could be wrong.
I think that's Advent Children art.
Huh. Oh, here's the actual art.
Yeah.
Not bad. What is it with like Japanese video game characters and strange hair?
Honestly, you could probably make the argument that it's all because of either Nomura or Amano.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nomura. Nomura's a big fan.
Nomura definitely made the spiky hair,
hair,
like, overly popular. It existed beforehand, like, I think some of the Breath of Fire games and Secret of Mana had it, but starting from 7 onwards, that became very common. But yeah, Cloud's staying up there to fight Rufus, and the others are going that way. Tifa's staying here to wait for him. And you really do want to check their equipment. In fact, remove Cloud and Tifa's materia. If you're... I should note off-screen, if they had any accessories, I did remove them, and this is what everyone's looking like right now. Lightning materia are very important on everyone. However, when it comes to Barrett in particular, make sure he has Lightning Elemental on his weapon, just to make things a bit easier for him in the case you need to physically attack later on.
Because if his strength is pretty high, his magic is pretty low.
Plus, and this is more important, he's long range.
Yes.
You'll see why I say that right now.
Because there's
Elevator battle.
helicopters. Actually, not quite. I thought this was the helicopter, but it's a tank.
This is the 100 Gunner, 1600 HP, 330 XP, 35 AP, 300 Gil, weak to lightning, so that's why I have Lightning Materia on everyone. And in particular, Barrett, just so I can get some physical attacks on in the case he runs low on MP. The long-range distance here is the reason why you want to have it on him, though. The Lightning Elemental combination, rather. Just because that way he can physically attack and still get some lightning off in the case you're low on MP. I know I just basically said the same thing twice, but my brain is weird.
What I like
This
is that limit breaks don't care about range.
Yeah. For instance, Sledfang here is Red 13's first limit break, and it does, I think, 3 times normal damage?
Can look.
Either way, very useful.
I'm looking that up right now. Equal to 3 times normal damage. Non-elemental physical damage.
Alright. So that's useful. I think it's actually one of the most damaging limit breaks at this point in the game, because most of the other ones do like
2.5.
2 point something.
Tifa's does 1.25 something.
2.5 if you
Critical
get the
hit.
yeah on it. Basic strategy for this though, just spam lightning and lightning breaks if you have them. Eventually he will start charging up his sensor cannon if he gets that off. That does a good bit of damage, but overall not very notable.
Could be good for limit farming if you're really inclined to do that.
Yeah, at this point though I wouldn't recommend it because in this area, first off, the last time we had a save point was before we had even the scene introducing Rufus. So that's a bit to redo. And plus, we have another fight immediately afterwards, so you don't want to use
This
up all
is
your
the
MP.
Heli Gunner. 1000 HP, 250 XP, 25 AP, 200 Gil, weak to lightning. It doesn't have any... Oh, it drops a mithril armlet, which I think is better than the carbon bangle. Yes?
I think it's actually the opposite. I think the carbon bangle you're not supposed to get for a while. Yeah, it's the one right before the carbon bangle and chain of defense.
So nothing too special about it, as I recall.
Yeah, the basic strategy is the same here. Limit's good, use lightning, spam bolt, and you're probably gonna kill it pretty easily. Heal when you can. Now, if you did want to do any limit grinding with this party, I would say do it now, but I really just don't recommend limit grinding while you're
Now
in
here's
this
something I
section in
forgot
general.
about it. It has 2 forms and it has like specific attacks when it is in those forms. I believe when it's not in its spinning form, it uses firing line, which can inflict sleep on your party members, and it has really high magic defense when it's in that stage too.
I think. Either way, that's a transition and a half. Now we're back with Cloud, and I actually remove all my materia from everyone because I need to equip Cloud appropriately. Though this is interesting. This is the exchange mechanic. I think I've talked about this before. In the case you actually have someone off screen with materia, you can just go to the exchange command, which I think may have actually been added for the US version, and just outright exchange the exact materia layout.
I never used it. I wish I had.
It's very useful, especially if you're at a point where you can't easily switch your party members around. I use it especially after certain sequences. Like, say there's a sequence where you have Party 1 laid out and Party 2 has no materia on them. In the case you can have something like that happen, you can just immediately swap the materia. Either way, time for the next 2 enemies, Rufus and his Dark Nation. Rufus has 500 HP, will drop the Protect Vest upon defeat, which I think raises defense. And I think he's only weak to poison, if even. Poison's just your best option here. He'll shoot you with his gun, really.
His companion, which Kyle just killed, is the Dark Nation. Doesn't have any elemental weaknesses, but has 140 HP. Very easy to take down with just 1 biospell. 70 XP and 250 gil. But notable, it does cast buffing spells on Rufus, so you want to take it out pretty quickly, or else Rufus will be a little bit more tedious to defeat.
Particularly Barrier and M-Barrier, I think.
Yeah.
By the way, I was right, Protect Best is Vitality by 10, which just raises defense.
It also drops a Guard Source, which increases Vitality.
Yes. The reason I killed the Dark Nation outright first is because if I killed Rufus, it would have died with him, but without me getting any of the experience, AP, or the item for it. So kill it first, then focus all on Rufus. He doesn't have too much HP, so it should go down pretty quickly, especially if you get a limit break, which, just given the way this fight works, is fairly likely. But I recommend actually saving limit breaks and just using bio overall, because the limit breaks are going to come more in handy at the start of the next notable fight. And wow, he's got to have some impressive upper body strength. But yeah, that's
a good
Rufus.
amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically the richest man in the world now.
But he carries $600 in cash? Who does that?
Yeah, rich people, man.
Dang,
Crazy.
crazy.
I would recommend saving right now, by the way, in the case you're new to the game.
This is fun, this next part.
Oh, this next section's like the most memorable part of the game in terms of like new players. To the point where it even has like an iOS mobile game based off of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
G-Bike. But yeah, out there is just a bunch of soldiers waiting for us, so we're kind of cornered.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Unfortunately, none of us are named Will.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, wow, Tifa got down the stairs pretty quickly. But looks like we have something planned to get out of here. Oh, yes, I love this song.
Also, yeah, that cutscene confirms that Red's tail is on fire.
Yeah, as we saw mentioned earlier. And Cloud's got himself a fancy little motorcycle. I think this thing actually shows up in the little FMV we saw earlier at the shop, I think? I know the card next to this one that they're getting in it now does. I don't think this blue one does.
Whoever just thought of this segment deserves a medal. Whoever in the Final Fantasy staff thought of this.
Just given the director, it was probably the director himself. I would think that's Kitase in this game's case. I forget. But this is the crazy motorcycle section. We're going to have a little bit of a mini game going on here, but we have to do some setup first.
Yes.
Essentially, we have to attack left and right to avoid things from damaging the car. However, I want to form my party here first, because first off, I think whoever's in your party here gains a single points towards the date mechanics. And while obviously that's just 1 point, and I have Aerith in here, that's mostly just because I'd rather have her limit break for what's coming up and get the 1 point than not have her limit break and give it to someone I would rather have it. If you have any linked slots on your armor, put Fire Elemental on that, just because there's going to be a pretty notable fire attack coming up. And have Lightning on, and otherwise we're going to go right on into it.
It's easy to die if you're not prepared for that.
Yeah, and something you want to be careful with here as well. The Shinra bikes are trying to damage the car or you. And the health bars you see on screen for each of the characters, which, by the way, the art for the windows is just outright like the concept art for the characters, is their actual health bars. In the next fight after this, in the case someone is like at half health on the bars here, they will be at half health in the battle, and you don't want that.
Ugh.
This does control a bit stiffly.
Oh,
You were saying?
man. Well, I was saying that I didn't know that. I thought
Yeah.
the health bars were completely separate. Because I've never really taken enough damage for it to be noticeable. Because I'd look at my health bar and I'd look at my health and be like, oh, I probably forgot to heal.
Yeah, it's very minor, especially because given the amount of bikes they throw at you, there's not really much threat of damage. But yeah, I think also if you enter this with lower health, I think they also have lower health to start. Things to note, the red bikes take more shots and are more active at avoiding you than the yellow ones. In the case you knock down a bike and there's another bike behind it, that bike will take damage or just get outright knocked down. This section isn't overall that hard, but it controls pretty stiffly, so if you're new to the game, this can be annoying. And as you can see, I'm having a hell of a time hitting some of them.
Cloud must have some crazy arm strength.
Yeah. I mean, soldier.
Fair.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. I mentioned the bikes hurting enemies when they're falling down earlier. They'll also hurt the car, so don't do that when they're right in front of them. As you just saw, their health is now much lower.
Oy.
Thankfully, not long after you get through this turn, you don't have to worry about them anymore because they'll pull away for story reasons.
Ow.
Right about here. Hear that? Whoa, that's not a bike.
It's too bad you can't attack that thing.
Well, we're not gonna have much of a choice right here because it's time for a boss. As soon as the music starts. There we go. This is the Motor Ball. 2600 HP, 440 XP, 45 AP, 350 gil. Will drop the Star Pendant upon defeat, which I think raises intelligence. I'll get that up. No, actually, I think that provides something. Oh, I'll get it up. Weak to lightning, obviously. Takes half damage from fire due to its very damaging flamethrower attack, which it'll use, which is why I have fire elemental on some people. The notable thing about it is it has two distinct physical forms. When it's like this, it's just going to attack you with a gun or it's little lasers, but when it curls back down, it'll use the flamethrower attack on you. So when you see it kind of transform, heal up and prepare.
It's the flamethrower is a group attack, right? I don't quite remember.
Yes.
And it does about 100, as I recall.
Yeah.
It does a very good chunk of health.
Lower on its HP bar, it has a different fire attack. It uses Twin Burner to start, but lower it'll use Rolling Fire, which will probably do around 200 damage. But the notable thing, its arm attack, I think it actively targets whoever has the highest HP at the start of its turn.
Wouldn't it have targeted Aerith then?
Overall strategy is the same as the Heli Gunners, though. Bolts, limit breaks, anything. I know for the most part, this first fifth or so of the game has been pretty repetitive, but we're almost out of it. Starting from next part onwards, things are going to be a bit more open to us. Ooh, that's a lot of limit breaks. Oh, Aerith got Seal Evil earlier, by the way, which I believe casts Stop and Paralysis on an enemy, as well as, I think, Silence?
Let's bear in mind that that attack did about 80 damage to all the characters, and that's with half damage.
Yeah. Alright, here we are. Yeah. Seal Evil is Paralysis and Silence. That's really good. It only inflicts the SAS ailments if they're not immune. But hey, if they are, they can use it. In fact, is the Motor Ball immune to those? Looks like... Where is that? Yeah, Paralyzed, it's immune. Silence, it's immune. Yeah, it's useless against it.
Dang.
Let's see, the Star Pendant, though, let me get that up. Prevents poison. Oh, I was thinking of a different item from later on then. But that's the Motor Ball and the entirety of the Shinra escape sequence.
And with that, we will not be seeing Midgar for a long time.
Yeah, we're finally out. If you got sick of the mechanical environments, don't worry. We're seeing a bit more classic fantasy from here on out. Also, why does the roadway just end? What?
Maybe there's an intention to have a bridge, and they just
Or
never
like
finished.
an on-ramp?
Yeah.
Maybe. 'Cause it's weird. We see that they make cars, but we don't really see many cars in use in 7. Nor are there many active roads.
When you get a car, you just drive on the grass.
Either way, we all kind of have to decide what we want to do now. Aerith obviously wants to investigate the whole Ancients thing. We want to investigate Sephiroth, and Barrett and such just wants to still take out Shinra. But I guess right now we might as well stick together.
Actually, it was going back to the whole road thing. That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because in 8 there are active roads, and you actually don't run into enemy encounters when you're on the roads.
Yep.
Which is that's pretty cool. I like that.
There's a lot of things in 8 I do like, just the fact the rest of the game's kind of... Now, I'm not sure if any of the dialogue options here actually have any impact on the dialogue choices. I'm just a bit meaner to Aerith just to be safe of that. Either way, let's get out of here.
We need a group leader. Barrett nominates
Barrett, you
himself.
silly.
Volunteer as tribute.
Barrett, are you the protagonist? I don't think so, sir. Yeah, we're all teaming up. And Cloud is now team leader, and our next destination is northeast at the town of Calm. However, because we can only have 3 people in a party, Barrett is splitting us up. Actually, this might be where you get +1 depending on who's in your party. A very interesting dialogue happens, though. If you only bring Barrett in red, though, the girls go, well, this is an interesting combination.
But yeah, my dream team for this game is Cloud, Barrett, or Cloud, Tifa, and Red. Those are my 3 favorite characters to use.
Honestly, when I first played the game, that's the team I used for most of the game. But with that, we're now out of Midgar, but we're going to need to end this off here, because this has been a bit of a long part, as you can tell, just due to plot stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Take care, and we'll see you guys in Part 7 while we head towards
And
Calm.
watch a really long cutscene.
See you guys.
A lot of story events coming up soon.
Yep. See you guys then.